talked a little bit about it, right, guys? I mean, it's a little a weird one because, like, for who? Like, I think you said right for like Tatum, obviously. Where's I'll pay for your gas? It's expensive nowadays. I'll pay for it. In terms of like the kind of players I'm hearing, yes, he's untouchable. I agree because he's so young and we witnessed him in 1 year get better than most players do their entire career. We saw the jump. The jump's so important from freshman to sophomore years, like I call it. And junior year usually is your coming out party. Hey, everybody, welcome here. I can play. And he already showed he can, but every year he's made that jump. And great, I'm not going to say great scores, damn good scorers in this league through their tenures make that jump into their second season. You can see it on everybody's stat sheet. Go look at it. Right, go look at everybody jump from year 1 to year 2, and then you say, this guy can play. If a guy stays the same, you're like, oh, we'll see. A lot of upside. So you know how that conversation goes. Beansy's so young. Beansy's a guard. It's a guard-driven league. He can create his own shot. He's almost AI quick. I don't want to put him in that conversation, but he's that fast. We talk about it like the Aaron Fox ride back in the day. Like, hey, what translates right away to the NBA game? Can you move? Can you fly? Because that's something not everybody can do. So we see a lot from him. I'm not in the business of wanting to trade a young asset like that right now. That's only shown me in 1 year how much better he's gotten and how much he's willing to work. I mean, listen, I talk to my kids about it all the time. Hey, you can have all the talent in the world, but if I hear somebody taking 100 swings, I'm taking 2, right? And if I got a time machine, that's how I would operate. Okay, but I don't have one. But that's how you can operate right now. And when you're talking about a young player like him, how bad do you want it? And how bad do you want to get better at this level? Because a lot of guys get there and they say, hey, this got me here. I'm satisfied. And other guys say, hey, I'm interested in gold jackets. Not saying that it's going to be the case for him. But other guys say, I'm interested in more. I'm interested in championships, gold jackets, etc. I'm interested in being great. And he got better than Benjamin did, the little kitty cat, in 1 year than he did his entire career. So I'm not in the business of trading them. But again, you give me Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Like, I would do some things on some people for those two guys that, are more closed door meetings. But
yeah, I have to go disagree with completely untouchable. There's only one or two players that I would trade Tyreese Maxey for, and I would cry doing it. I would be so sad, but I want a Sixers parade within my lifetime. And I think, like, knowing Philly sports, I'll probably die without ever seeing a Sixers parade, but I think that Joel Embiid in his prime is the closest we've been since the 80s. Iverson took a team full of Tyrone Hill and Matt Geiger to places he shouldn't have taken them, but I think this is the closest we've ever been, and we're still not like one or two pieces away. But I just, if it could be a player that I would say, wow, that puts us in contention right now, and we thought we traded the guy you just mentioned for somebody that put us in that conversation, and with an entire offseason, his extreme, supporters are telling me that with this offseason we're going to see that. I hope they're right. But I wouldn't trade Tyreese Maxey for 99.9% of NBA players. But there's a couple, and there's one that may want out of where he's at that I would say yes to.
Which one's that?
Well, I would say yes to a Bradley Beal sign and trade. A lot of people hate me when I say that, but I would. And I would say yes to Donovan Mitchell.
Okay. That's the one where you can maybe that's the one where I'm like, okay, maybe I
think Donovan Mitchell is what people want Tyrese Maxey to turn into. A 26 point per game scorer that, can go get you a bucket in parts of the game that you need him to go get one. I just think that would be fast-tracking Tyrese Maxey. And then, of course, we would probably see Tyrese Maxey at 28 years old on top of the world and win 6 championships in a row with whatever team he's on. But
Jordan.
He would be he would become the greatest player of all time and have a 19-year NBA career probably.
Yep.
It's so tough, DJ, and I heard you talking about it on your show earlier. And I didn't like what you were saying. You know why I didn't like it? Because what you were saying about the Donovan Mitchell eventually being, or him being what we eventually want Tyrese Maxey to be, I didn't like it because it made sense. And you mentioned it before we went on the air about how we like to in Philadelphia get attached to certain athletes. Most of them like suck. Like they're in a weird category that like they're like just no-name players that we think are great and we just get attached to them. This is like the one guy of the few that, hey, he can actually play. Hey, he actually encompasses what we love in a player, both work ethic, actually trying into game 7 when 95%, if not 99% of his entire roster didn't. And also getting better, when, a 6'11" point guard Australian, had way more talent coming out and he got worse instead of gotten better. But that's beside the point. The Donovan Mitchell thing is so tough for me because we go with this, timeline with Joel Embiid. It's like, okay, well, we can't really afford to wait another 3-4 years for Tyreese Maxey to eventually blossom into that fully fledged, all-star superstar. Because nobody's expecting him, while we've seen it rare times before and he's gotten a lot better, we're not expecting him to reach his full potential at 22. Like, he took a huge jump in year 2. He really never showed any signs of that sophomore slump. So it's crazy to think, hey, he's going to do that again in year 3. Would it be shocking? No, because of the work ethic and what he's shown already. But the Mitchell thing is interesting because he fits that age. He fits something that we need. He's a little bit worse of a shooter, but also it's a bigger sample size. Like, we saw how good Tyreese Maxey got, shooting-wise just in one season. Now we can see, can he grow on it or just sustain it? I disagree with you on the Bradley Beal thing. The Bradley Beal, and Tom, you and I have talked about this a lot. I think I've done a complete 180 in the last 12 months on the Bradley Beal stuff. I don't know if it's the fact that he's a little bit older or he gets banged up at the end of the season. It just makes me really nervous. It makes me really nervous making that trade. And also, I just think, I don't even know if he's available. I mean, he decides every other day whether or not, I want to leave. Oh, I want to stay. So he needs to make that decision on his own, and that's kind of the same thing with Dame. Like, I feel like it's been 30 years since we had, like, the Damian Lillard discussion. But, like, I've seen his name be brought up, which, again, is kind of in the same category because Portland, comes out today, they're going to build around Dame. Well, A, you've been trying that for 10 years. And 2, is Dame going to be Harden, where, like, he comes back and he's on the wrong side of the injury bug and he can't play anymore? Because Dame's, I forget how old Dame is. What is he, 31, 30, 32?
Maybe 32.
So, so like an undersized guard that's already in his lower 30s, that would make me, nervous too. But, to your point, Tom, if a Tatum magically became available or a Jaylen Brown or something crazy, then, you'll have my attention. But I see nothing wrong with keeping him, having Harden for one more year, and then kind of turning the leaf over to having Maxey be that second full-fledged star along with Embiid once Harden gets out of here, and hopefully they don't sign him to another 5 years.
Let's go, Marleek.
Marleek said, just ordered my Manscape. Thanks for the discount. I hope it's worth it.
Brother, it's worth it.
Get 20% off and free shipping with the code A2D at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. Great product. I'm going to say, clean myself up today. I feel better as a man.
Great stuff.
Yeah, really excited about it. So 20% off and free shipping with the code ATD at manscaped.com. We're just kind of looking at all the giving. Look at all the giving. It's just constant. Now you get back to your lady. Now that's your job. We gave to you, you give back to your lady. Done and done.